Hello everyone, Danny Sugans here, and today I'm going to do a video about what I feed my haps. So what you see in front of you right now is a collection of all the foods from both tanks. Both tanks contain carnivorous and omnivorous cichlids. So I can pretty much feed them vegetable matter and protein. They need more protein in the diet than vegetable matter, but I'll just go through a few products that I've got anyway. Here we go. First up, New Life Spectrum cichlid formula. Great all-purpose pellet for promoting colour. Great price. You can feed it to vegetarian and carnivorous cichlids, so it doesn't matter what species you have, everyone can have that. It simplifies things if you want, say, to keep vegetarians and carnivorous species in the tank. Here we go. Well, next to it we have the Terra Air. Again, a New Life Spectrum product. It's enriched with garlic, meaning that it will boost a fish's immune system. So it can be good when you're treating sick fish. Here we have 36% spirulina. This is the tropical super forte spirulina. This is really for your algae eating fish, well, algae eating rift lake cichlids, such as the tropheus that's on the front there, and Mabuna, because of the high percentage. My fish, being haps, don't get an awful lot of this, maybe it's once a week, just so that they do get some algae in there in the diet. I'll show you I'll just clear it off. It's a really dark flake. As you can see, flakes very dark green. Just get that top back on. You're wondering what the bubbling noise is. I've got the water butt preparing just under 200 litres of water for the 8 foot. Right, back on track. Better not get sidetracked now. Right, here we have the Sarah Granude. This is the stats for the food on the back there. Basically just a standard protein pellet. It's just little red small pellets, round about the size of the New Life Spectrum. Just something a bit different to keep the diet varied, maybe over the top if you want to call it that, with all these different foods, but I quite like a serious food collection for my fish, so I don't see the being too much of a problem. Right, anyway, next up we've got the krill flake. It's supposed to be tropical, the same make as the spirulina and the Tanganyika flake here, but it was in a bulk size, so or was rather, so I've used quite a lot of this now, nearly a year's worth of food. And that's just really your all-purpose flake. It's got krill in this flake too, but this has got a mixture of spirulina, flake, krill flake and squid flake. So this is just basically more protein, rather than this is a bit more varied with its vegetarian flake mixed in there as well as the protein flakes. So it's really good for your Tanganyika and cichlids, with, well, the omnivorous and carnivorous, but also with it just being krill and squid and spirulina as well. It's what was I saying? I lost myself. Hang on. You can feed it to any haplochromous as well. It's just another form of protein, really. So even though it's packaged as a Tanganyika flake, it's not really important. Here we have the Phytoplankton Plus. This is from taaquaculture.co.uk. It's non-commercial company, I think, sort of deal with their own sort of branded foods. So I thought I'd try them anyway. The prices were good, so I got a bunch of stuff from their site. I'll show you the rest of the stuff soon. So this flake is a weird flake. I just wanted to try it just because it sounded interesting with its contents: yeast and soy extracts. Yeast and yeast extracts, so soy, wheat, spirulina, egg. So it's just basically another. I don't feed all too often with that, but just for added vitamins. Here we have the hang on, just open the top. Here we have the egg flake. Look at that lovely rich colour. Nice big size flakes that just crumble up nice and finely in your fingertips. This is ideal for young fish. It's so very fine, it just crumbles up into the tiniest of pieces. So it's great for fried and fry. Particularly ones that have just lost their egg sacs as well, so they'll take it away easily. Not that you should really have a problem with anything else you're feeding them. Any cichlid fry will take anything, from being young, from crushed spirulina to crushed protein flake. Anyway, next thing what we've got is the Ikari XL. Yeah, again, just another form of spirulina, but in a pellet form. Then we have the freeze-dried brine shrimp. I don't have any frozen food at the minute, so I've just been using this stuff. I've got some in the pot that I was using earlier, or yesterday rather. And what you can do, what I like to do with this stuff is, before I feed them it, I like to soak it in this garlic guard here. It just goes a bit like mush, you know. This garlic guard anyway is just again another way of boosting the fish's immune system. They say you can feed it to fish that aren't feeding, maybe, you know, got a touch of bloat and you want to try and coax them into feeding again. But no, for me, I just like to use it really as a booster to the fish's health. So I supplement it with brine shrimp, mix it together, feed them it that way. Over here we've got the Astax granule. It's a high protein pellet. It's a small pellet as well. Purposely I got this so I noticed my young fish, the Lethrinops babies and the Trimetochromis babies, well, the juveniles are around 2 inches. Some of them are bigger now, about 3 inch. But I noticed they were at one point having a trouble feeding from the New Life Spectrum and the Sarah Granuid pellets. So I got a reduced size pellet, because you could, from the TA Aquaculture website, you could actually select the pellet size you wanted from most of the... They did a cichlid granule as well, by the way. I'll just get that out. The cichlid granule looked interesting, but I had too much food of, so I just wanted to try a really high protein pellet for the odd occasion, and this fit the bill nicely. Extract granule. You could also get like a really intense, or it was called a colour plus version of this food, which I suppose would maybe be like their take on the New Life Spectrum. I don't know, but it'd be worth trying out in the future. Okay, last we have the Gamma shrimp. So what we've got right here, I'll get this lid off. Send the shrimp fucking everywhere. Oh god, I'm trying to do this for the camera. It's going to be a disaster. Oh, there we are, that's it. Here we are, these fucking shrimps. These weird little carcasses you see before. Oh, they look horrible up close. Look at them. Yeah, these shrimps, I like to feed these to the cichlids, but they're really rich in fat as well. But the protein's only about 47%, and the brine shrimp's like 63%. And I've never had any problems with feeding them the brine shrimp. So, not off these, but I only tend to feed these on the rare occasion, because they do have some husks, and they have like a little husk, as you can see, and sometimes the fish don't really like them and just tend to spit them out. So, and sometimes it's a bit more husk than meat, I think, so don't feed them these too often. But the bigger ones love them, especially like the Trimetochromis and the Mylochromis. All them big fish in the tank, they'll just destroy these, you know. Anyway, let's do a little test with these. Show you how they like them. Look at them all waiting. I've turned the exposure for the other room, so everything's a bit weird with the tank lighting at the minute. Well, not the tank lighting, but the camera. The camera settings are all different for the room, for natural light as opposed to the lighting on the tank. So here we go. Let's try this camera shrimp. Oh, I have no idea how they destroyed that, but they seem to like it. Suppose you'd throw some shite in there and they'd eat it. Right then, guys, I think I've covered everything. I don't feed them cupcakes over here, that's for sure. Anyway, right, I'm gonna get off. So, take it easy and see you on the flip side.